feels like. Look at the flick of that wrist. I'm feeling like Leonardo. Let me paint the picture. I might need a bottle. On the road to success, I can feel the throttle. That Michelangelo, hundreds in the envelope.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Browns going up against the Broncos. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
Okay, Larry, we are located a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building here in downtown Denver. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. First and 10, it's Lynch. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
As you and I both know, one reason teams sprint plays to start a game is so they can... practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a solid run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
This will be caught at about the 6. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And this will be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. On second down, Lynch. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stick.
Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
The defense won that play so fast. It was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They go to Johnson again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
3rd and long. It's gone. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are.
Get the ball, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And now here's a carry heading left. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Going for a right side here, complete. The 30. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, a 23-yard run. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Paxton Lynch now, he gets set and heads back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And oh, he coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. A group of Broncos there combined to bring him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's sentence of the coach's address.
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So a good grab there. And here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, here's Lynch. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And they'll indeed go for it with Lynch. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He's got time. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Give him 3 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here. Here on 4th down. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Can't find anyone open. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm. Wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and calls a nice play for lost yardage.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Goff throwing again. This will be caught just inside the 10. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 23 yards on the play. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here's Lynch to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Lynch to throw. This will be caught at the 2. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Once again, it's Lynch. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now Lynch, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. So they just do get the touchdown in before halftime, and now a PAT will tie it.
So what we're seeing is one team is going to be really excited right now. How about the other side, though? Will they be deflated, or will they go ahead and gather themselves, regroup at halftime, and come back out because we had an even half?
Yeah, we did. We'll see. Should be a good second half, that's for sure. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just... take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They come out here in the eye. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The final shot before break here. Goff. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now Goff, and Graham's got it. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And he finds a man with a crossing route. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Again, it's Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 1st down, it's gone. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They were stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit!
A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So it's his 3rd field goal now of the ball game, and they have needed his leg because this last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, Brandon, but now you've got to tell your defense, hey, we need a stop here so we can let this momentum carry us through to the next drive.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They got to get to the 23 here on third.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Oh, I can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. Here's Lynch. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They go play action here on first down. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Lynch here off the bootleg. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their dangerous wide receiver. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. And his kick.
Give us some really funny lines, but the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Back now at the home of the champs here in Denver. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll make it third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A strong running. And he finds Jimmy Graham. 8 yards there and a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Goff now looks to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Here we go now.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And that is incomplete. Gus Bradley's decision to go for it does not work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Lynch to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Back 99, Philly, here we go. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he cuts it out to the sideline. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. 30 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Goff now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. From the gun on third down, Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. On first down, it's Goff. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
Throwing again is Goff. He finds Coleman. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Again, Goff. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now that has to be fun for a head coach to watch. They've been working on clock management since the first day they went to camp. And guess what? It all came together there. A team that understood the situation, got out of bounds, and stopped the clock.
From the red zone now, Goff looking for someone to throw to. Wide open receiver complete. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. Goff throwing again. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shane Ray in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And they do spike it in time with just 1 second remaining.